Everybody. This is Mary Jane Bruce, and I've come to have some fun with you. Do you want to have some fun? Well, one of the things I think is fun is to play trivia. So, in order to play trivia, you have to know some facts. So, I'm going to start sharing with you trivia time. Trivia is when I share some information with you and later I ask you questions. So, are you ready? Okay, let's go. I love reading. I love books. So anytime I can explore a new book, then I'm ready to go. So I found this really neat book. It's called Time for Kids, Big Book of Where. So today, since I love learning about Africa, then I'm going to talk about Chapter 6, Africa. And the good thing about this book is it's got beautiful color pictures. Okay, first of all, it has a picture of some animals in Africa, the cheetah and the hippopotamus. Can you say that? I know a song about hippopotamus. Maybe one day I'll tell it to you. The map, there's a map in here of Africa. It covers the whole area of Africa, not just Nigeria where you are, but all over Africa. So it's fun to learn. So I'll read you some things today about Africa. Then I'll ask you some questions and you can work on it together with your teacher. I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. Africa. Where can you visit the world's largest hot desert, fly over a 4,000-mile long valley where the continent is breaking apart? I have to read about that later. I didn't know that. Did you? Sail along one of the world's longest rivers, find more unique animal species than anywhere else, and view the birthplace of humankind? Africa, that's where you can find all of that. Our second largest continent is also home to the second largest tropical rainforest. Do you know you live in a very famous place? I want to come visit someday. South America's Amazon rainforest is number 1, but Africa is number 2. Africa is also number 2 in population after Asia. 1 billion plus people live in 53 countries and speak more than 2,000 different languages. Now, this book was written some time ago, and so the facts may have changed a little bit, but you get the idea. Okay, so in 2012, this book says, which is a few years back, the population of Lagos, Nigeria grew to 20.5 million people, making it the largest city in Africa. Well, I wanted to find out a little bit more up-to-date information. So I got out my phone and I Googled Lagos population in 2022, which was last year. It says the estimated, that means they're not for sure, but it's a good idea that it's a pretty close amount for Lagos was more than 24 million people. That's a lot of people. I've never seen that many people before. And around 30 million for the Lagos metropolitan area, including the suburban area, reaching far into the neighboring Ogun State, where you are, thus making Lagos the most populous urban area in Africa. Wow. When you have a map that's this big, covers a lot of territory, then that's a lot of people. Well, another fact is that you can find the hippopotamus there, the big animal I told you about and showed you the picture of. And then cheetahs. It says cheetahs can reach a speed of 40 miles per hour in just 3 strides. That's faster than some cars, and have a top speed of 70 miles per hour, faster than any other animal. Now, here in the US, we measure in miles. I know yours is a little different, but you can learn with me today. Okay, so then we're going to go to the next page. It's really interesting. Where is the largest desert in the world? Do you know? Well, can you guess? It's in Africa. The Sahara, can you say it with me? The Sahara Desert stretches across northern Africa from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea, covering an area almost as big as the United States. That's where I live. So that top area with the desert is as big as the whole country that I live in. See how much bigger Africa is than my country in the US? Well, let's read some more facts about the desert. Most of the Sahara consists of broad plains covered with stones and gravel, but there are also barren mountains and sand, of course. In some places, strong winds sweep across the desert and blow the sand into huge dunes up to 1,000 feet high and hundreds of miles long. That's pretty big. These areas of sand dunes are called ergs, from the Arabic meaning sand sea. Although the Sahara gets very little rainfall in some places, only a half an inch, that's pretty tiny per year, there is water in aquifers. These are underground layers of rock that allow water to flow through. Fertile areas called oases spring up in lower places where the water is at the surface. Here, plants such as date palms, do you know what a date palm is? I think maybe some of you do, because I've seen pictures of dates in Africa. And citrus, like oranges that you have, can grow, and there is enough water to support people and livestock. So here's a picture, and this kind of gives you an idea about the desert. Pretty cool, huh? Well, it says shippers of the desert. Before modern trucks, there was only one way to move goods through the Sahara Desert, and it was camels. Here's a picture of a guy riding on a camel. Have you guys ever seen any camels? I don't remember if I've seen any. I think I may have seen some at the zoo before. So the camels can go for a long time with little water, and their broad feet keep them from sinking into the desert sand. The camel caravans were run by the Tuareg, a group of semi-nomadic tribes. Some Tuaregs still operate camel caravans. So if you were to go up there today, you may see some. Sandstorms can create a wall of sand nearly a mile high. That's taller than me. And even blow sand right out of Africa and across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas. I saw a little sand spin one time, but I've never seen a sandstorm. The roots of palm trees tap underground water to survive in the desert, okay? And so then it says the world's largest desert is the Sahara Desert, and then there's other deserts. So it's in the top 5 because it's number 1. So I want to ask you some questions now. What did you think about our learning about Africa? I loved it. It was so fun. Okay, so let me see. What is my first question I'm going to ask? Does anybody remember if I were to fly over Africa? How many miles long is it? Do you remember? Well, my book says 4,000-mile long valley where the continent is breaking apart. Remember when we read that? Okay, so remember, Lagos is a very, very big city. Do you remember how many I said on my phone I looked up? More than 24 million. Okay, if you guessed that, then you got the question right. Okay, and the next thing, can you tell me the 2 animals that I told you about that are in Africa? How about one? Okay, yes, you're right, the cheetah. And the other one has a big, big mouth. Yes, you got it. You're right, the hippopotamus. Okay, I hope you had a good time today. I gotta go for now, but I'll be back soon with some more trivia. Have a good day. Bye-bye.